Hello everyone, today we are going to do another top-down analysis. This time we'll choose EURNZD, and as usual we'll do our price action analysis and draw our levels on daily and weekly, then dive into H4 and H1 to look for potential setups and triggers. Let's start by drawing our levels on weekly. As usual, we'll draw a random line on our chart and drag and drop it in a way to connect at least 3 dots. Here we can connect only 1 dot here, 2 dots here, 2 dots here. Here we can connect 1, 2, 3, and 4. A very good one. Let's make it a round number, 1.8. Let's continue. Here we can connect 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. Very good one as well. Let's make it a 1.7 and continue. Here we can connect 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Let's make it a round number, 1.65. Do we have anything else? 2 dots, 3 dots here, 2 dots here, 2 dots. Alright, so that's it on weekly time frame. Let's see if we have any divergences. Yes, we do have a 1 histogram divergence around here. Let's make it to only show on weekly time frame. Can we draw any trend lines on our chart? I can see we can draw this one here, but it's already broken. We can't keep it or we can delete it. So let's keep it for now. Let's make it to show only on weekly. Here we go. And that's it for weekly. Let's dive into daily time frame and do exactly the same. Can we draw any 3 dots levels here? Let's check. Here we can connect only 1 dot. Here we can connect 3 dots, 1, 2, 3. Let's make it a round number, 1.72. Let's continue. Here we can connect 1, 2, 3, 4, a very strong one. Let's make it a round number, 1.67. Let's continue. Here we can connect 1, 2, 3. We can always scroll back to confirm our level. A very strong one, as you can see. Let's make it a round number, 1.6 or 1.61. Here we can connect 2 dots. We scroll back. As you can see here, 1, 2, and 3. Let's make it 1.5. And as you can see here, we have levels close to each other, so we can treat them as zones. And if you know me so far, I like to make my resistance levels in red and support ones in blue. So let's make them. Now we have our support levels, and let's draw a zone in between. Here we go. Let's make it in blue for the support. Here we go. And let's make another one in red for our resistance zone. Here we go. And we can also draw a zone here as a very strong supply zone. So let's do it. And let's make it in gray. Here we go. Now we are done with our levels. Can we draw any fresh trend lines, objective trend lines and patterns? We can connect only 2 dots here, 2 dots here. So for now we don't have any fresh trend lines. We have old ones though. Here we have one and here we have another one. So let's delete them for now. How about divergence? I don't see any fresh divergence yet. We have old ones as well. As you can see here, we have a divergence. Here we have a 1 histogram divergence. MACD is making lower highs while price is making higher highs. Here MACD is making higher lows while price is making lower lows. We also have one here. MACD is making lower highs while price is making higher highs. So for now we don't have any fresh divergence, so let's delete the old one. So now from daily and weekly we know what to look for. We are looking for sell setups to form around this area here, and also here we are looking for long opportunities, buy setups to form around here. So as long price is still around or above our blue zone, we are only interested in buying, and as long as price is still below or around our red zone, we are only interested in selling. Unless price broke above our red zone, then we will be looking for buy opportunities around here, and then we will look for sell opportunities around here. So now we'll dive into H4 and H1 chart to look for potential setups and triggers around those zones. So we'll be looking for sell opportunities around here on the red zone retest and here as well, because this zone is already drawn from this and this dot. So 3 dots, we already draw our zone, so we can look for potential setups around it. And we can also look for sell opportunities around here because this zone is already drawn from 1, 2, 3, 4, very strong resistance area. And we'll be looking for long opportunities, buy opportunities around here on this retest and this one, because this zone is already drawn from those dots and those 2 dots. Let's dive into H4 time frame first and look for potential setups around those levels. Let's start with drawing our divergences. Here we have a divergence. MACD is making lower highs while price is making higher highs. We also have one here. MACD is making higher lows while price is making lower lows. We also have one here. MACD is making lower highs while price is making higher highs. One here as well. MACD is making higher lows while price is making lower lows. And finally you have one here, one histogram divergence. MACD is making lower highs while price is making higher highs. So as you can see, all our setups have 2 confluences for now, divergence and a rejection zone. Now we need a third confluence. It can be a pattern, a trend line. So let's start with our first setup. Do we have any triggers or any patterns here? We can only draw this trend line, which is not objective, so we need to zoom in to look for potential setups for this area here. The same case here, we can't draw any objective trend lines because we can't connect 3 dots and we don't have any pattern, so we need to zoom in to H1 and look for objective patterns, trend lines and triggers. How about this one? I can see we can draw an objective trend line here, 1, 2, 3 touches. Our entry would be a candle close below this swing, which I call the last swing standing. Here's our entry, our stop loss, and we always target a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio in a way that our take profit is double the size of our stop loss. And as I mentioned earlier, we always look for long opportunities above our zone and short opportunities below our zone. So in this case, price broke above our red zone and then made a continuation pattern. If you can see here, let's make it in orange. Here we have a descending triangle. As you can see, our entry would be a candle close above our last swing standing here, and we always target a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. For now, let's delete our risk reward tool to make our chart clear, and let's zoom to H1 time frame to look for potential entries around this setup and this setup. Let's go over this one first. We have a rejection zone in red and a divergence on H4. So we zoom into H1 looking for triggers. As you can see here, we have a head and shoulders pattern. Here's our head. Our left shoulder and right shoulder. We also have an objective trend line here, 1, 2, and 3. Our entry would be a candle close below this last swing standing. So here's our entry. Our stop loss is above the right shoulder, and we always target a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. In this case, price hit our take profit plus 2R. How about this setup here? We also can draw an objective trend line here, 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Here's our last swing standing, so our entry would be a candle close above it. Our stop loss is always the last swing from the other side. So in this case, we've got a break-even trade as price reached plus 1R, and we moved our stop loss to break even. Now let's go over the remaining setup, the one in blue and the one in red. Let's start with the blue one. As you can see, we've got a head and shoulders pattern here. Here's the head, left shoulder and right shoulder, and if we zoom into H1, we can see that we also have an objective trend line here. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Our entry would be a candle close above this swing, and we always target a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. In this case, it hits our take profit plus 2R. How about this one in red? We also have a head and shoulders pattern, as you can see. Here's our head, left shoulder and right shoulder with its neckline, objective neckline, 1, 2, 3 touches. As you can see, we also have a long-term objective trend line. Let's make it an orange. So we have two objective trend lines, head and shoulders pattern, rejection area in red, a divergence on H1 and on H4. By the way, I sent this setup like 2 weeks ago on my premium channel. Our entry was a candle close below this swing, and our stop loss is above the right shoulder, and we always target a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. This trade hit around our plus 2R last week, and now we are waiting for long opportunities to form. We already have a objective trend line here, 1, 2, 3 touches, a divergence on H1, and price is sitting on a strong rejection area in blue. So now we are waiting for a candle close above this last swing standing to consider buying EURNZD.